I'm Kane the Schwab Watson. Exciting show today. As usual, unfortunately, our guest today has pulled out due to emergency. So, but the show must go on.
Yes, we'll have to say boy O'Neill Samuels, cyclist.
Top cyclist. I know we're
CAC and Caribbean champion, had an emergency today. So we do apologize to all the viewers. We've been getting some feedbacks, and a lot of questions been sent to us to ask Mr. Samuels, but we'll have to do that on another occasion.
But
it must go on.
The show must go on. So the phone lines are basically open throughout the show. Controversial Boss will be on at the midway point, and we want to big up the Controversial Boss on his birthday.
Yes, man.
From the Primal team, So he's doing a lot of work on and off camera. So,
Earth strong.
Yeah, so tune in wait for that at the midway point. Do you remember the phone line? The number is 1-876-552-7406. And that's via WhatsApp only. So, Dale, where do we start this show?
Yes, man, we have to start with the RGR Sportsman and Woman of the Year. That was concluded yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, and we see where Elaine Thompson, well, that was obvious. Yeah. And also Hansel Parchment won
Sportsman of the Year.
Yes.
I mean, we would figure both would win the titles. I mean, both being gold medalists, Elaine being
Olympic champions. You can't beat that. So
can't beat that
was a runaway favorites.
Also, we have to big up to all the nominees, all of the respective sports who won their Sportsman, Sportswoman of the Year. I mean, we had guests here who Chris Binney, former guest winning Squash Sportsman of the Year. Simon Tomlinson winning table tennis.
And Salisha Young.
Salisha Young female. So
and we can't leave out our big guest last week, Steve Buckner. Got the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
Big. He got a good write-up as well. He
definitely a linchpin in.
Of course, he's a legend. He's a legend.
Everybody knows Steve Buckner. How is that?
Yes.
So, and I mean, one word to sum it all for all these sportsmen here, I'll describe them in one word: primal.
Primal.
Yeah, they're doing things, they're doing well. So big up from Primal to them. So
without a doubt.
That was
and before we move on, we said that they paid some tribute to Veronica Campbell, VCB. She retired. They gave her the Decade Award from 2000 to 2010. Because she won double gold medal in the 200 meter. We tend to forget about those great ones because of Shelley and great things that Elaine is doing.
Current, but we have to
recognize.
Never leave out the past athletes. And Veronica Campbell has carried the flag.
Man.
I mean,
but you remember Greece? She was. You remember Greece?
Yeah, I mean, we've been watching this from a long while. VCB.
Pot cover, lick and all kind of thing. Nice and make.
VCB make her lose her voice, not just one occasion.
Yeah.
Even when she had dip at the line and get silver, VCB.
Yeah, man. Champion. A
Wear
true
her heart
champion.
on her sleeve. Yeah, man, true champion. So I have to big up VCB.
Yeah, and they honor the big man himself. The man that put track and field
back into like an entertainment package.
Yes, man, Mr. Bolt.
Mr. Bolt.
Double decade award for Mr. Bolt.
Can never stop giving all these accolades to all these great athletes. I mean, statues are up at them at the National Stadium.
And I said Miramar, Bolt too have him statue in Miramar. You know who's doing that statue?
Well, I'm not so sure. Who's doing that one?
Mr. Watson, Mr. Basil.
Yeah.
How to do a statue of Bolt in Florida.
I mean,
well deserved.
Another big man himself. So
yes.
In his own right. But Jamaica just keep producing all these talents. So I mean, looking towards the future, coming up, the young crops.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we have our next Bolt coming up in the wings on the male side.
Yeah.
Female tend to be putting out more athletes, but I mean, one thing, Jamaica will be there.
Yeah, and I see Fana trying to bring a gold medal for the world champion this year for the 100.
Yeah,
Tajay Gale.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do the double. I'm just doing the 100.
Yeah.
Double as in long jump on 100. But
so looking for that track meet in Oregon later in the summer.
Yeah, Fran already. Keep producing. So it wouldn't be a surprise if he does step up and the great things.
Yeah, speaking of Mr. Francis, you heard about the reports during the week about the same issue that we've been talking about with Elaine leaving the camps and all of that. Saying that MVP been changing the goalposts, you know, in terms of contracts, and it look like it's some contractual agreement.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know, you take care of the athletes for when they were no name athletes, and once they start making the big money, the situation and the contract changes.
Yeah, they want most of the moolah now.
Yeah, well, a matter of fact, they want the payment retroactive. They want to collect back all of that money.
Yeah, I mean,
that is spent in terms of investment. What do you think about that? You think that
in sports there's a lot of side to sports. Sports is a business.
Yeah.
On a whole. You have athletes, you have agents, you have coaches, you have sponsors, and everybody trying to make the sport what it is.
Yeah.
We looking at it from the athlete standpoint, why not say the athlete get large share of the money if he or she is the one performing? But then again, the athlete doesn't really take care of the business side of things. So everybody has to be protected. So I think that there has to be contractual agreements to where you go and state who gets what share. And then if a coach takes you up from grassroots stage and brings you
to something,
then I mean
you owe it, you kind of owe it.
I mean, and then the coach has to get paid, and the coach imparts knowledge on you. Okay. You are basically nothing without the coach, and the coach is nothing without you. But a top coach is rarer than a top athlete.
Of course.
Because top athletes are a dime a dozen. I mean, how many Stephen Francis can we produce?
Yeah.
Or how many Glenn Mills can we produce?
Yeah, no.
I would hope if we had more, then we have more athletes. But and then agents doing phone calls, taking care of business, dealing with sponsors. I mean,
well, let us hope them can work it out still, because it don't look good.
Yeah, but if I'm running 10-5, I'm breaking the world record.
Yeah.
I mean, and I see you getting 40% of my money.
I think it's
getting 10%.
I'm wondering if it's more of the surprise, meaning they didn't come up front and say, listen, we're going to take care of you, but they say once you start to win, you're going to have to pay us back all of those money that was spent on you in the earlier days. I don't know if it was an upfront agreement, because that's still not clear whether that's an upfront kind of thing still. But
still the coaches still take a chance on athletes.
So you side with the coach right here?
I don't side with the coach. I'm saying there should be a balance. And then again, now when the money gets larger, I mean,
have to step up for the coach too.
Money probably look more for the coach as well. But then again, if the coach used to get 40%,
it's a percentage still.
And then now when big more money come in, you probably want to give the coach 20% now.
Yeah.
Instead of getting him 40 and the coach say, hey, you make money, I make money.
Well, I hope them sort it out. That's all we can do. Yeah, man, it don't look good. You know, the greatest coach in the world right now. Yeah. Over the past 20 years is Stephen Francis, so I hope them sort out them things up by MVP and get things back on track.
Yeah.
Well, let us move on, Let us move on to the divisional round of the NFL. Yeah, it's today. We have the first match, Cincinnati versus Tennessee.
At 4:30.
Yes. And we see where Tennessee, the running back, Henry is back, but been out for about 8 weeks now. I don't know how impactful he will be, because football player. You have to be in the game still,
Yeah, but he's a big player. If he's fit,
he probably would have been MVP of the league this year based on what he was doing in the early part of the season. And a little foot injury there, but he's back today.
And if he's fit to play, that's what big
players do. He's a beast,
They play.
Yeah, he's a beast. And Tennessee, they played well even without him. The defense stepped up.
Nature NFL, he can do play calls, work around him. Yeah. And 1-2 big play, and he can have a great game. He doesn't have to be out there.
Yeah, and Tennessee's at home today too, but guess what? I'm going with the youngsters.
The Bengals.
I am going with Joe Burrow and that wide receiver named Jamar Chase. Yeah. The most exciting receiver in the league. Well, some people comparing him to Randy Moss. You remember when Moss was come out in 98? Yeah, man. So I'm going with Cincinnati for that match,
I'm siding with that. I'm going with Cincinnati. I don't tend to agree a lot on some of these things, but I'm going with Cincinnati just because of Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Big QB, third year in the league, doing big things. Next match at 8:30 is the Packers, Green Bay versus the Niners.
That's a big match.
No, that's a big match.
If you follow NFL, those are two established franchises.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is out to win his second consecutive MVP. He's going to win it over Tom Brady. So he has a point to prove as well. I think he's under pressure for this match. Winning only one Super Bowl with all this hype surrounding him,
And he's touted as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Well, I don't think greatness is just about your performance. It's in team sports, you have to know how to make a teammate them come together. And I think sometimes Aaron tend to be a little bit more selfish. And he always play the blame game, who never catch this, who drop pass here, who fumble this.
And winning counts.
Yeah.
Whether it's team sport or not. And just to have one title.
And being called, some people say he's maybe top 2, top 3.
You can imagine if Brett Favre had titles.
Boy.
I mean, that was his plight of not winning titles and having so many accolades and records and longevity.
Yeah, man.
Playing, and he had good teams, but
stumble. But
Packers and 49ers.
Boy, I go in with the upset this week. I went with 49ers against Cowboys because of the running game. Boy, I really want to see Aaron and Tom.
I'm going with Green Bay.
I have to go with the Niners. I have to go with the Niners because of the ground game and the ground game and the defense. I'm going with the Niners for this one.
I'm going with Green Bay. I have to go with Rodgers, big arm. I mean, he has the package to
you will go with the anti-vax man. He's also an anti-vax,
I'm the anti-vaxxer.
Immunity. Yeah. That's what they call it.
Herd immunity.
Yes. But anyway, I'm going with the Niners for that one. Tomorrow we'll see the big man trying to go for his 8th title, Super Bowl. Tom Brady, the Bucks versus the Rams.
Yeah.
With Aaron, Donald and all those boys, Jalen Rams on the outside. Tough match, This is a tough match, Cooper Cup.
One thing I can say, don't bet against
Don't bet against Tom. So you're going with
Tom Brady loses, so be, but do not bet against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So I have to go with the Bucks, the GOAT.
Yeah. Well, I went against Tom last week with the Eagles, but they destroyed the Eagles last week. But here what? This Rams D line is no joke. You have Von Miller, former MVP, defensive player of the year, Von Miller, and you have the big man Aaron Donald up front. Then you have Jalen on the outside, and Tom don't have his full arsenal of weapons in terms of receivers. So boy, I don't know, but
last week as well.
No, but the Eagles, the QB, Jalen Hurts was trying to. I don't know which team he was playing for last week. I don't know if he was playing for Tampa. The amount of passes, like him kind of give Tampa the ball every time him have it. So that was one them. But anyway, I'm going with the Rams because of the defense.
I'm going with Bucks because
Tom Brady.
Yeah. We're joking around in studio just before the show. Somebody was asking in studio, say, if Tom Brady wins his title, I was saying if Tom Brady wins his title, they have to rename the sport. Can't call it American football. We'll call it Tom Brady sport. But he's
been around a long time, eh?
Yeah.
20 years? 21 years to be exact.
Yeah.
From 2001,
I mean, I remember when we were talking back in the day, I said, Tom Brady gonna get 4. I'm 4th ring or 5th ring.
Yeah, I remember that time.
I'm tired Joe Montana.
I remember when they go with that little dry spell.
Yeah.
They have a little dry spell there.
And he has 2 losses to the Giants that...
Incredible catches,
Man. So you can imagine if...
Lucky Eli, I call him,
Tell you.
Lucky Eli, man.
Tom Brady is always in the mix and always there, so I have to go with the Bucks.
You're going with the Bucks.
So far, Bengals, Packers, Bucks. You have Bengals, 49ers, Rams.
Yes.
And the last match to close it around.
To be honest, all of the matches are good, because the Chiefs and the Bills, it's a rivalry this started, with 2 young QB, Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. I don't know, boy. I don't know. Buffalo was my side from back in the 1990 with Jim Kelly and Dan Beebe and Thurman Thomas and them guys. But Aaron, the Bills have to do something this time around. The Bills have to do something. I'm going with Buffalo.
I'm going with the Chiefs. Mahomes is a star.
Yeah.
Prime time, big player. And if Chiefs can't get it going, Mahomes will find a way to make a big play. Whereas with his arm, with his legs, and the Chiefs put up points.
Without a doubt, I think Pat is the best in the league, for sure. But here what? It's destiny. It's been almost 30 years since since Buffalo has even reached the divisional round. You know, so the last time I had a chance was with Doug Flutie and that coach of him benched the man because the man too short. Man is a winner, you bench the man.
Yeah.
In this 1998 season. So I think Buffalo, you know, destiny. It's time. It's time.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big drought that we have up there in upstate there, but I go in with the Bills for this one.
Well, so far, we only agree on the Bengals. So we're going against each other in the next 3 matchups.
Yes, man. Yes.
But I mean, next week we'll review our picks. And I mean, people, you know the Schwab. Don't bet against the Schwab. Don't bet against Tom Brady. And don't bet against Kane Watson, the Schwab. So we'll see with the picks. I mean, I know my producer in studio always, you know, trying to mess up my picks and don't remember, but it's recorded, people.
Yeah.
Producer, we play this next
Sometimes
week.
the producer want to take the credit.
Yeah, take the credit, but and we're not afraid here on Primal to make our picks and state we're not shying away from it. So
Yeah.
those
Speaking
are
of not shying away. Let us move on to the controversial Australian Open.
yeah,
Yeah, let us move
down
on.
under.
Yes, boy. We saw Mr. Joker being finally deported.
As
back to
controversial boss would call him Novak. Yeah.
Yeah, boy. You know, I've been really in heated discussion over this thing during the week. But you know my stance already, you know. But nevertheless, we say Nadal is still in there. Well, both defending champions are out. Joker due to deportation.
Deportation.
Yes, man, and Naomi Osaka.
Yeah.
She exited in the second round to the American. Yeah. And it it don't look good. It don't look good. I think Naomi is on the downward right now as well.
Yeah, but
you know, too many excuses. You know, too many excuses. And I say Raducanu is also out.
yeah.
You know, she's the next one with the excuses now, talking about blisters on her hands and having played.
I think she should be a one-hit wonder.
You think so? Yeah.
I don't see her much upside to her, but I mean, she's still young. I mean, switching coaches, all of that.
Anna Kournikova was still young too. And she was just a model, making more money than Serena and all of them on the circuit.
Even Naomi Osaka made the most money as a female athlete last year.
Yeah.
Ever. No female athlete has made more money in 1 year than Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, I think these people they need to fall back. Yeah, man, they need to fall back and be more grounded, man. They're too hype. They're too hype.
No, I would use the word hype. I think they're humble, but I think.
Listen, every other day I see this girl in my magazine. I take pose and I take picture. When do you have time to train?
I mean, why are you looking in the magazine?
Why am I telling you?
She has to be in the magazine. That's why you have the magazine.
No, come on, man. But what
people can get magazine?
And I'm not saying no, but when you find the time to train and focus on your profession. When you find that time, can you know this?
Yeah.
You have to be in the zone. You have to be.
Jordan used to the commercials that he was playing. I mean,
listen, man. No, man. They're not different, man. You don't compare them. No. Look at this. You know, even LeBron. You know, LeBron. And when playoffs time come, he put away the phone.
Yeah.
You no social media, no nothing.
Zoning.
You have a zone in, brother. Every minute, I take up a paper today. She must see a smile and a pose and.
For the camera,
too much. I think something need to fall back, and then they're coming up with some excuses. When them losers pure excuses,
not good.
But we don't need to know about the blister in your hand. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep it to you. Ever hear MJ and those guys never complain about injuries, you know?
They rise above the occasion.
Yeah, I don't know. The modern athletes are always they're putting it out.
Kobe breaking finger during the game, and
you will never know.
You set it back.
Yeah.
And play.
Yeah. LeBron thumped the locker in it after the 2017 finals when J.R. Smith made the blunder in the last part, and LeBron played through the entire series, getting 4 straight, and come out with a cast on him hand. Him do this in the first game, you know,
it's a new age,
and came out with a cast on him hand for the post game interview.
Yeah.
Just to show people that there's an excuse. Yeah, you see the difference between
the nature of sports has changed. If you look at the athletes back in the 90s
I think
and
it's soft.
80s,
I think it's soft.
different. I mean,
the mentality is
there's more media centric now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a storyline.
Yeah, a narrative that for real.
Something
for
for
real.
people to talk about, get them engaged. I mean, it's good for the hype and talk and all of that. But
Yeah, a lot of them using mental health as excuses now, and we don't want to stray from the tennis. Cause we want to touch back, even because Nadal is still in. We still have Medvedev. I think he's your favorite, but
I'm going with Nadal.
Let's touch a little bit on the mental health thing, because a lot of them bringing it up, even within the tennis. And obviously Simone Biles, the gymnast, saying the weight of the world was on her shoulders.
The world is heavy still, you know.
No, hold on. So who put the weight on her shoulder?
I mean, that's a lot of weight. If the world is on her shoulders.
Yeah, but who put it there?
You have to perform.
You have to go out there and perform.
That's what you do.
Sports
is a job.
You have to learn to manage all these things. It's sports.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, you know. It's who can manage the mental part of it. So you can't make an excuse, say I'm not going to go out there because the world of the weight is on my shoulders.
I mean, competitors, I'm sure our competitors have life outside of sports as well. And as we know, life isn't easy and problems will arise. But I mean, you are who you are. You have to go out there and perform.
You have to perform.
You have to go out there and play. I mean,
yeah. So back to the tennis.
I'm going with Nadal.
I know that's your player, right?
Yeah, Nadal for number 21.
21.
He looks fit already. I mean, Medvedev is playing good on form, but Medvedev, I think he'll crack under the pressure.
What about Alexander, the young German?
I'm going with Nadal.
Nadal,
I think mentally, he's tough.
He's a warrior. He's a warrior.
And Nadal will wear down these players. And I see these players, if they're not playing out of their skin, they'll crack.
Yeah.
And Nadal will find a way to put pressure on them.
Them open up since Djokovic gone home too.
Going for number 21. And on the female side, I'm going with Sakkari. Sakkari. Yeah, I'm going with Sakkari.
Okay, I'm going with the Australian Ashley. Yeah, I'm going with Ashley. She's in front of our home crowd.
She's gonna choke. I think she's gonna choke.
I'm running
Sakkari.
with her.
I'm going with Sakkari.
So what this means for Nadal being able to surpass everybody in terms of Grand Slam to win the 21st. Where do you think this puts Nadal in tennis tennis hierarchy?
He's definitely in the mix.
Yeah.
He's definitely in top 3. Some people will say Federer, some would say Djokovic.
Yeah.
I myself is a Nadal fan.
Yeah.
But I still think Roger Federer is the greatest. I mean, what him do for the sport, the level him take it. That's where these guys are reaching and trying to eclipse. They're eclipsing it with titles, but pound for pound, prime for prime, on the day.
You go with the weakest one. You go with the weakest one out of the 3.
Mentally?
Man. Yes, man, he's the weakest. Easily, he's
the out of the 3, he's the weakest one mentally, but graceful.
Yeah.
When he's on,
fluent. Yeah.
Poetry in motion.
Yeah. I'll give you that
Nadal is more of a workhorse.
Yeah.
Gritty, grimy. I myself prefer those type of players that when something is not going on, they find a way.
Yeah.
They push you, they hustle. They don't give up, they don't back down, whether they win, lose, or draw.
Yeah.
The Federer's now is talent, just fluency.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I tend to like the grittier players. Djokovic is tough mentally, and Djokovic, where him take it from always being the villain to now he's probably the most liked athlete. Back in the day, nobody liked Djokovic.
And because
now the crowd is saying Joker. And Djokovic make a complete 360 and make a run. Nobody see this coming to catch up all Nadal and Federer at 20. And I mean, if it wasn't for this, he would be the odds-on favorite, and I wouldn't bet against him to win the Australian Open.
Yeah, this is his court.
Yeah, this is his most dominant surface for him.
Yeah.
But if Nadal wins number 21, it's just more backactive for his name. If he loses, it doesn't take away from his clout as being top 3 of all time. No matter where you shuffle the pack, he's definitely top 3.
All right, and I like the thing I like with Nadal. You never hear him complain, and even when he was young, you know how him start out. Coach used to put him on some courts with a whole heap of bumps and lumps, so the ball would deviate. So him learn how to fight him way. It was never easy and smooth for Nadal coming up. You know the kind of system that he came up under. But for me, I like Nadal. I like him. I like the spirit. But for me, hands down, Djokovic is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Djokovic is the greatest tennis player I have ever seen.
My teammate Simon Thomas would agree with you.
Yeah. And the records, facts. We have the facts there in terms of head-to-head matchups between him and Nadal. He has the head-to-head matchups between all two of them. He and when you look at being number one, he's the longest reigning number one of all time. When you look at the Golden Masters, he's the only one to complete the Golden Masters 2 times. Nobody has ever even done it once. So and even the majors, he's the only one to win 2 on each of the surfaces. So when you look at wins, and we play the game to what?
To win.
So when you look at wins and dominance on different surfaces, easily he's got to be the greatest. And
I wouldn't say easily.
No,
there's definitely a case for him to be the greatest. I still think Roger Federer in his prime.
But based on the facts and what we have there on paper,
prime for prime, pound for pound, Federer.
How can you go with how can you go with the weaker athlete mentally?
No, but then again, it depends on which surface we're playing on. Because tennis players that play across.
No, it doesn't matter the surface when it comes on to Novak.
Well,
he's the more to win the Golden Masters. It's 9 different tournaments, different surfaces, and for you to do that, and it shows even with the Grand Slam titles that he's dominant on any surface. You know how many French Open finals? You know how many Australian Open?
Federer got a lot of them as well.
Yeah, but this
and Nadal stop him in the French.
And pound for pound, he beat them all the time. I remember the first time Novak played. I remember the first time Novak played Federer, and the crowd was booing Novak, booing, and the man. This is why I like this youth here now. The man never cared. The man just listen, man. At 11 years old, when Bama dropped neighbor house at Serbia in the '98 when Bama dropped, a crowd that boo you come like nothing to you. When them grew up that the period in time when they had the war out there, when the man grew up in is no joke thing, And you know what him said to him still go out and train. Him look for the areas where the bomb drop already, because him say more likely they won't blow that up again. And that's where he went and trained. And the man said him realize that him can't control it, so him just let it go. He can't control it because he was in fear, both the families and everybody there.
So we'll wait till all their careers are ended.
I think his career is done now. I'm stubborn already. Novak, another. As I said before, I told you guys I don't think they would allow him to ever play in any more major. Because of the unvaccinated situation. He's too influential. They cannot allow it to happen. So I think, and he's stubborn. It's not that and maybe that's why he's a champion too. You have to be stubborn to be a champion.
You have to be in your own world to be.
Yeah, man. So
to reach a level of greatness, you have to have some form of narcissism.
Yes.
So to say.
Yes. Do agree.
Yeah, but remember my picks: Nadal, Sakari. Your picks are?
I'm going with Barty, and I'm going with Alexander, the young German.
Zverev. You're going with Zverev and Barty.
Yeah.
And I'm going with Nadal and Sakari.
Yeah.
20 people. Remember the picks. And next week we revisit. Hey, don't bet against the shop. Coming up to the midway point.
I will pay tribute to this Brit, Him do a little good thing. Yeah, man. Him retired now. Him losing lost in the second round. No, but no, man. He's a good little man in the midst of all the 3 that were mentioned. You don't read Andy Murray?
He's British.
Oh boy. Why so the British them not good at that?
No. It's just hype. He has a level.
Yeah, man. But I think he's retiring this year. They probably have a little farewell thing for him. I wouldn't call him
amongst the greats.
No, he's not. Well, he's definitely a champion, though. Wimbledon 2 Wimbledon, one US Open. So come on.
Winning on home surface.
Yeah, man, in front of the crowd. I think,
So
course,
I guess the what you call the 13th man, the 12th man in the crowd.
Was
so other than that, if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have won. But
good play. You know, he's about to retire. He's still young, but I guess eating habits and whatever won't allow him to continue.
A good player. I wouldn't say great. A good player.
A good player.
Well, you know, he competed. But you touch off the topics and then we talk about Nadal and then you just drop in Andy Murray. You have to
separate it.
Yeah, not in that league.
All right, that's true. But we'll just have a picture because we'll have the commentary up now with the controversial boss himself, the birthday man.
Big up on his birthday again.
Good morning, good afternoon. Thanks everybody for the birthday wishes. So, like you guys, I'm gonna be bouncing, but it all comes back to tennis, it seems, because you know, I've had some thoughts about what I've been seeing Australian Open, and I'm not talking about the big thing yet. The big thing might come at the end, but Emma Ratajkowski has lost again. Raducanu has lost again, and I'm looking at Emma now, and I'm beginning to suspect that Emma is going to have to deal with the unfortunate label of being our generation's Anna Kournikova. Anna Kournikova came to play tennis, drew a lot more attention than the tennis, mainly because she had Russian model looks. And the attention afterwards became so distracting that poor Anna Kournikova never actually made it into the top flight of tennis. I don't remember if she ever won a slam, won one of the slams. But Emma Raducanu surprised, made her upset, was a dark, came unseeded, entered the US Open as an unseeded player and didn't drop a set, beat the entire draw. And unfortunately, it's now beginning to look like a flash in the pan. Looking like a flash in the pan. One hit wonder. You remember that Korean dance, the Go Gangnam Style? It's like a one song. Gangnam never won another song again, you know. That was a one hit. And Emma Raducanu, I mean, I'm a big fan. But I think that she is easily a flash in the pan. Sorry about that. But moving on. Reggae Boys had a match this week, and I started to watch the match and I zoned out because the more I watch, the more it seems the same. We got Tree Love. We're lucky it wasn't worse than Tree Love. We have to congratulate the new coach for keeping it decent, because that could easily have been even more embarrassing than Tree Love. They're telling me that we never had the full team because one of our strikers, the English guys, weren't there as usual, and you know, which leads me to the major stint in my what I have to say here. It's time now that we forget about World Cup. It's time we forget about World Cup. It's time we forget about this World Cup. It's time we forget about the next World Cup, and we focus on developing Jamaican football. What is football? It's a sport that we all play and should represent what's going on in Jamaica. This shortcut we've been trying to take, it's like we take the same shortcut so many times and still can't reach where we're supposed to go. The only way to have a strong football program is to have a strong domestic program. I don't know of any other country which is trying to develop. USA tried it one time to bring in people with, give them passports and have a few American guys, you know, get a few guys from East Europe to come and get American passports and play. And it seemed to me that in Jamaica, we seem to always want the shortcuts. And we've been trying to take a shortcut now for about, what, 5-6 cycles? How long is it now, dear? It's a cycle. Still hoping to buck up some Englishmen or some men in America with Jamaican grandparents, ancestors, and all this kind of thing to come and play for it. I can tell you from now, it's not going to work. You cannot have a domestic scene. Ignore the domestic scene. You're searching all over the place. You're using a roster of what? 50 players to play a campaign when other nations are using what? 25 players at most to play a campaign. I'm talking about players who repeatedly, Jamaica have so many different starting 11s, it's confusing. I suspect that the players don't even know each other's names. It's time we take the thing serious now and start to pick. I mean, how does an English player, an English-born man, said to a fella, come on, mate, we need you to do, he says something in English slang. The poor man from Tivoli don't have a clue what he's talking about. I don't see any coordination, and I don't think it's going to get any better. I think we need to end what is the Reggae Boys experiment. and start dealing with some Jamaican boys to play for Jamaica. We need to develop our fields, develop the game, and develop our coaches, and develop the game in Jamaica instead of hoping to bring some people from overseas to come and play for us. It's a shame, man. Time we get it straight. There's a big football tournament going on called the African Cup of Nations. Big? I don't know how big it is because it's not on TV. It's not in the media. I have to search to find results on the African Nations Cup. No a man come to me and say, this is the racism of Europe and all that kind of thing. So let me ask you a question. They don't have journalists in Africa. They don't have TV stations in Africa. Why are they not posting their tournament, making it free, stream it live on YouTube, so people who want to see what's going on is going on? Somebody tell me that Africans are becoming a great football power. Surely there must be a media power too. You have good journalists and good things. You must have some good media man in Africa to let us know what's going on. You know, they say if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? We don't even know. We know football not playing. How do we know that African football, if your football was so good, wouldn't you be showing it off? If a man pile 3 man, salad one and hit a volley in the top of the net, that making news. Is it happening in Africa? We don't know. Because the Africans need to not depend on Western media to carry this. You can't blame the white man media. He doesn't want to see a set of people who are not white men playing football. He wants to see some British boy hitting ball. African, you want me to see your ball? Put the ball out so we can see it. Don't blame the European man and the American man for your lack of enterprise. If you're playing good ball, bring it to us so we can see it. I'm sure if a youth in Jamaica is playing good ball, we'll publicize it. Don't. Where's the African Cup of Nations? Come on, Africa, you can do better than that. Back to Africa. Africa is doing better. UFC, tonight, Francis Ngannou, I don't remember his name. Big heavyweight, super heavyweight champion. He's going to fight Cyril Gain, his sparring partner. There's video showing his sparring partner giving him a lot of trouble. And we know a lot of sparring partner get trouble enough. But when you go in the real big match, it's a different thing. I have met many people who are good in the gym. We call them gym warriors. But when you meet them in the real life, with the media and the bright light, they shrivel, they shrink. That's the difference between champions and practice horses. But you guys are champions, you would know nothing about that, would you? But tonight, I'm picking Francis Ngannou to defend his title against Cyril, right? And I'm going to make some other picks later on. My pick for tennis is Rafael Nadal. I'm sorry you guys raised the topic. We have a long show, so you're going to have this kind of thing happening. But Nadal is quietly going about his business. And I think that's what champions do. I've watched many a tournament. I watched the great Janove Walner work his way to the draw. When you reach the semis and the thing that you put on the show. And I think that Nadal is positioning himself very nicely to go through. There's a bit of hypocrisy going on by my two distinct hosts here. If Nadal, what's his name? Joker. If Joker breaks the tie, he's the greatest of all time. And yet if Nadal breaks the tie, we have to see what we can talk about and all that kind of thing. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Whoever breaks the tie is the greatest of all time. Right? Let's have an objective, measurable mark. Why if Nadal break the tie, not the greatest of all time, Kane? Come on, man. You're saying that if Joker could break the tie, I am sure you and Simon Tomlinson would be swearing that proves he's the greatest of all time. Yeah. If Nadal breaks the tie, I think he will be the greatest of all time. We have World Cup qualifying coming up. Mexico, January 27th. Panama, January 30th. I am going to make a prediction based on what I saw in the last couple of matches. If we do better than lose 3-0 in both of those games, we're doing well. I don't see us doing any better. We're going to need to work out that coach now, whether we're going to get a Johnny Barnes or whoever it is. It's very nice if Johnny Barnes would come. We think we won Caribbean Cup with Johnny Barnes. Australia knew what they were doing when they sent that man home. Right behind Djokovic, if Djokovic was allowed to get in on an exemption, would have been a skier named, a surfboarding man named Kelly Slater was looking to come to Australia. He saw that Joker got deported and changed his mind. He's the US most famous surfer of all time. Last week I challenged the listening audience. I wanted somebody to come here and debate with me whether Djokovic was a hero or a zero. I see a lot of people trying to defend Djokovic, and I was waiting on somebody to take up my challenge on air so we could have a confrontation. I'm not going to do it with Dale because, he's the big horse and all this kind of thing. But Djokovic is no hero. I learned recently that Djokovic has a 80% stake in a company that is developing a COVID medicine, right? It tells me a lot. Is Djokovic amping up his anti-vax stance in order to sell the shares in his company? Because a whip of money that if that company boss. Djokovic have stakes in a company called Quant BioRes, a Danish company that is developing a treatment for COVID. The technology, I'm not a biomedical person, but the technology look kind of dodgy. They're trying to find some kind of enzyme that would block the COVID thing. And then you say to yourself, what is a tennis player getting involved in medicine? And then he's so prominent that he was fighting a next person's medicine. Doesn't that smack of a kind of corruption? Does it not smack of a kind of insider type of thing? If you're publicly cussing vaccine while quietly pushing manufacturing a medicine and investing heavily in that medicine, it makes Djokovic even less of a hero to me. It means he has a motive. He's not a strong believer and fighting for people who don't believe in vaccines. Djokovic is no hero. He's a zero. That's sports commentary for today. What say you?
All right. Let me touch on another topic that came because I want to explain this to you guys and the viewers. The reason why a lot of tennis, and remember guys that the phone lines are open. There's an open mic discussion time. 876-552-7406. 876-552-7406, and that's via WhatsApp. Feel free to call and talk about any sporting topic that you wish. All right. Let's touch on the Nadal thing. One of the main reasons why you find a lot of the experts and even ex-tennis players, they don't even put Nadal in the top 3 or top 4 of all time is because
I've never heard that before.
No, you do.
I've never heard that before.
No, do your research.
Nadal is definitely the top 2.
No, do your research.
Well,
they have Sampras ahead of him.
No,
they have Pete Sampras.
No,
and
I've never heard that before.
Reason being because he's not as versatile. He's not as versatile as
he has one on every surface. He has
13 titles on one surface.
And Pete Sampras only have 14 titles. And
he
has 13 on one. Pete Sampras is nowhere in that man league.
The tennis players. Mm-hmm. I don't argue with tennis players. When they come out and them rate this man, there's a reason why them rate them. You understand? Because they play the sport, they see it. They have a better eye for it than a non-tennis player, even a journalist, right?
But I'm the Schwab.
All right, you're the Schwab.
and I'm Primal.
All right.
No tennis player can look at me and tell me that Pete Sampras is better, greater than Rafael Nadal. We have our first caller for the day. Hold on a second. Sorry. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon.
Welcome to Primal Sports.
Primal team. How you guys doing today?
We're doing good. How are you doing today, Mr. Madden?
Mr. Madden.
Not bad, man. Not bad. Here listening to you guys deliberate as usual,
Yeah.
I don't really agree with what Dale just saying.
I'm sure it couldn't be me. Everybody agrees with me.
But you use you use left hand as well, right?
That has nothing to do with this.
I see.
I just don't know what circles you're in to not hear Nadal being mentioned in the top 3 greatest of all time.
I've never heard it. It has never been done before.
If you check it out and you listen to other former tennis players, they will tell you that the top 3 that Nadal is normally out of the 5. He's like 5th or the 4th.
I've never heard that before.
As I was saying, all right, Madden, I give you the floor. Tell me why you think Nadal is top 3. And even with this 21 titles, we still don't put him in the 3. But tell me why you put him in the 3. I like him speaking the 21st title in Texas.
All right, so let's put it this way. For a player to be in the same era as two of the people that you put in the top 3 and not be dominated by those people. Be competing with the persons. And
who's not? Hold on. What you said? Not being dominated by who?
Nobody dominates Nadal.
By either.
It's pretty much even with both players.
No, it's not even with Djokovic.
Djokovic probably have 4 wins over him. It's probably 31-27.
No, it's not even.
It's probably 31-27.
Has more wins than Nadal. It's not a dominance.
Okay.
It is ahead, sure, but he's not a dominance. That's what I'm saying. He's not dominated like the other two.
So wouldn't you say back in the 90s that you had more greats back in the 90s than in 2000 and 2010?
No, I would say more frauds. I wouldn't say more.
Don't you think that the talent pool was more spread out in comparison to now? That's why maybe Pete Sampras could only get 14 titles.
Sorry to cut you, Mr. Madden. Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal has played 58 times. Novak Djokovic has won 30. Nadal has won 28. How is that?
Hold on.
That is pretty much even.
No, hold on.
So I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, you guys talking about a young Djokovic.
Young? They're basically the same age.
No. Not same age in terms of career.
Well,
No.
So I born before.
No.
So you choose to start your career later than me. That means I have more wear and tear.
Over the past 10 years, you check the stats over the past 10 years.
No,
from
so
2010.
why are you putting parameters around it?
Because would you count the times when I used to beat you? When you were a little
you have to count it. You have to count. But we're not the same age.
No, I would not count that.
We're not the same age.
I would not count that.
But we are not the same age. If we were the same age and started the same time, the both of them started the same time. So I don't see the point.
No.
Djokovic is a late bloomer, but in bloom.
He's a late starter.
Go ahead, Mr. Mad.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So I'm saying, I don't agree with that not mentioned in the top 3 greatest argument at all. As you see, the shop just gave you the stats. But moving right along to the Djokovic Australian Open issue you guys were discussing earlier. First, I think, and the shop knows this, I think the Australian board made the right decision. Rules are rules. You have to enforce your rules. You've got the parameters and the bypass to go around the rules. You chose not to go about it the proper way. So accept the consequences. It is what it is, right? Yes, it is sad that he's not going to be there to try to break the tie, and personally, I agree with the shop from earlier where he's saying Federer is just graceful and it's poetry in motion, as he put it. Beautiful to look at. But Djoko is my player, right? Djoko is my player, so I am disappointed that he's not at the Australian Open. Don't think it's a hate thing or a fight against thing, not at all. I'm very disappointed he's not at the Open. But rules are rules, and they gave you the parameters and the guidelines to go around it. You didn't work with it. It's sad, but it is what it is. Right?
And before you leave, Mr. Madden, I want to read an next stat to you. Nadal versus Federer, they have played 40 times. And Nadal has won 24, Federer has won 16. In finals, they have been played 24 times. And Nadal has won 14 and Federer has won 10. So the so-called 2 greatest players, Nadal is pretty much right there with them.
This is why
on any surface. This is across all surfaces.
No, this is why I will never put Federer as a great, as a top.
As a great.
I would take, if I want to win a match, a fighting match, I go with Pete Sampras all day, every day over Federer. Federer is weak mentally, and he had a mental block against Nadal. He was afraid of Nadal, period.
Which great player Pete Sampras beat?
Andre, there's a lot of greats from back in the 90s.
Few, name them.
Becker, Connor. There's a lot of greats. Agassi, Evan Lendl.
Pete Sampras is after.
Rafter.
He beat those when you say you're talking about age now when he beat them. Those men were failing out when Pete Sampras is dominated and he only won 14.
All right.
And bunch of them US Open.
Let me ask you this. If this guy is so graceful and is this great tennis player, Federer, right? You know who Federer remind me of? Federer remind me of Steph Curry. He's a front runner. It's when everything going well, he must shoot the tree and pose and do it. Let me tell you, so when the going get tough against Federer, he start to make a lot of unforced errors. That is when I say mentally weak, this man you're weak, this man you're weak, this man weak, man. Let me show you something.
Some of the greatest
for you to be so good as a tennis player and you make a one-sided player dominate you to that level, in your prime.
He dominates everybody.
No.
Nadal dominates everybody.
Nadal was a one-sided player. Nadal has developed a backhand over the past 6 to 7 years and a one-sided player.
You know,
It's not a one-sided player.
not because he's
No,
controversial.
he's a one-sided player.
I go agree with the controversy, boss. Nadal win this tiebreaker and go 21. Nadal is the greatest.
So, caller, somebody,
You're the controversy, boss.
somebody, you're telling me that Nadal wasn't a one-sided player?
No, I'm saying being able to expose the weak side was a challenge.
No, sir. Looping the ball, hitting the ball miles over the net with your racket going behind your head top. And you taking the ball early and so smooth like Federer can't beat that man.
But look at it. Federer is the king.
Why think Djokovic destroyed that man when he reached in prime?
But the man injured and fade out, wear and tear. Destroy. Come on, man. All right, Mr. Man.
All right, Mr. Man. We're going to disagree on that one still, but thank you for the input.
All right, thanks, Sanjay.
No problem.
Do you remember the phone lines are still open? 1-876-552-7406. To touch off tennis for a bit.
Yeah, man, we have a big thing going on here, man. I see you wearing your armband and I don't hear you big it up here.
If you look on every video I've ever done or any picture you've ever seen me taking, this is always on my arm. And right now we're in a deadlock 1-1. We're not a deadlock, but 1-1 is the score. Last score I checked at halftime. Money Cup finals going on right now as we speak. Hold on, we have our next caller coming in. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports.
Yes, man. Good afternoon, Kane.
Good afternoon, Mr. Garvey.
How you doing? Dale, how you doing, man?
Yes,
I know you're a tennis man as well, you know. I know you've been listening.
Yes. I have to put my little 2 cents.
I'm sure, man. I was waiting this call, yeah.
Yes, and to tell you, I see Kane is going with Nadal for the men's title, and
Sakari. Yeah, Sakari for the female.
And Dale is going with
Barty and Zverev.
I align with Dale on that. I'm going with
Barty
for the for the women's. Of note, Halep is playing very well out of Germany. You know, you have to watch her as well. But I like Ashley Bartley. For the men's though, I am going with Medvedev. You know, I like 2 players, and none of them is Nadal for this one. I like Medvedev chances, and I like Sasha's chances. If you look at all the top players in the top 5, ever since the Olympics, from he won the Olympics gold, I think Sasha has been playing way his standard. It's like he has just stepped it up. He has beaten Novak about 3 times since the
Olympics.
He won at he knocked him out of the Olympics, I think, at the quarters when he threw his racket in the crowd, and that was a problem there as well. He also won against him in the season ender.
Yeah.
You know, you remember where the top 8 players come together. Right, he won there as well. And he's really the form player coming into this tournament, and just like how Nadal has been going through very quietly, Peter was right on that. It's the same thing with Sasha. You don't hear much fanfare about him, but he's winning everything straight. I think he's the one to watch. But I'm personally going with Medvedev. I mean, he's a proven winner, hardcore winner, along with Sasha. And I think the winner will come from one of those 2 for that.
And form is form.
And this is not Nadal's best court at that. He's not won only once, you know. So
I think it's lack of. I think there's some lack of fit.
Match practice.
He's trying to finish all of his matches pretty quickly because he wants. And I mean, we know the sport. It makes sense when you touch quarterfinals when the competition gets harder.
Yeah.
You know.
And we know him always carrying niggas from years now.
But something you guys have to mention. There's two other things quickly on that before I move to football that you have to mention. Is the fact that the Canadians, there's 2 Canadian players. If you're looking for outsiders, the guy Felix.
Yes.
And also Shafarov.
Yeah. Dennis playing good as well.
Canadian players are quietly doing very, very well, along with our very good friend from France.
Monfils.
Game Monfils is doing very well. So if you're looking for an outsider, we always in sport, we always have to
Yeah, we look at
those two little Canadians and born face, but all those they always fail when it comes up, against the bigger players.
Even Sissipas, you have to look at Sissipas is there as well.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. It's gonna be Nadal against, Nadal doesn't have the help of a Federer and a Djokovic
to clear the road.
to find the young blood. So as a quarterfinals, he's gonna be coming up against some boys about 24 or 25 years old.
Some young guns.
Yes, who are all want to make the name. So let's see.
But Nadal is mentally tough though, so that's why I always go with Nadal.
That's tough.
It's gonna be tough to beat
them back to back.
Back to back. That's the point I make.
And then with his fitness, I see what you're saying. So but these young guns tend to crack. That's the thing with them. They do.
But they have been getting a little stronger though, because
probably Medvedev and Zverev. The others to me tend to crack easier.
Yeah.
And Nadal will find a way to wear them, but as you said, fitness can come into play as well.
Yes, because he's just coming back from a major injury.
And,
he hasn't played anything like this.
And the issue is to beat them back to back. You might get through one and then to get through the next. And I said Federer not here to clear it.
So he hasn't done anything as yet. That we can say, hey,
I see the angle. I see the angle where you're taking it from.
Right. Those players would never beat him anyway. So, let's see how that goes. Let me quickly touch on soccer though. One of the things you guys, my little input that you haven't mentioned is the fact that Liverpool is in the final of the League Cup this week.
We're about to touch on football because even coming up reggae boys, so a lot of football, Money Cup finals going on now. I mean,
I think Casey took the lead or something like that.
It was 1-1 at halftime.
1-1. Oh, 1-1, no. Okay, equalized. But what a big news coming out of England now that we need to debate is that in England, the Prime Minister came out and said that nobody will need to wear the mask anymore. That's big because he said the numbers are going down and there's just no need for that. So that is good news in a sense because from a football angle, you can recall that last year we watched all of the matches in the stadium. And I don't think that is good. That is good for football. No. But something that let me quickly touch on something that Peter touched on.
African
players being world class. I mean, every team may not have world class players, but when you look at those three from Liverpool who's down there, I mean, those are three world class players. When you look at Ryan Mahrez from Manchester City, no doubt that he's world class. Thomas Partey, who unfortunately his team is out, Ghana. Got knocked out by an unknown. But I mean, there's a lot of world class players.
But Africa always had good players, isn't it? But maybe not good teams, but good individual players.
Right.
And we see a lot of Africans playing in Europe now. You just touch on the ones.
For your listeners to know, for those persons who want to watch it, you may not see it on the ESPN or anything like or NBC, but you can watch it on Bein Sport.
Repeat that.
Bein Sport.
Bein Sport.
That is who is carrying the African Nations Cup. So for the listeners who are listening and want to tune in, the last 16 I think starts next week.
Okay.
So they can watch that on Bein Sport. But just before I go, what I want to do though, is a commendation for Primal Sports. I think it needs a little more publicity in terms of how well you guys are doing. I mean, I've listened to other sport, I won't call the names of the rest, but I think you guys are way ahead of many of them in terms of the professionalism and all that. And I find it very entertaining. I mean, it becomes a part of my Saturdays now in terms of wanting to listen in and to chime in and give a little piece. But I think you guys are doing very well, and I think that you keep up the good work. People, everyone is making a major contribution. And this is I only see this program getting stronger and stronger. So I won't keep it up. I'll allow other persons to call in. I just want to commend you guys for a great job and for you guys to keep going.
Yes, man.
We appreciate it, Mr. Garvey. Thank you.
Okay, man. Cool.
All right.
Bye.
Respect.
Yes. Sometimes people misquote it, and Peter, I didn't think you were saying that Africa don't have good footballers. But we can catch it on what, Bein Sports? Yeah.
No,
We can.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to jump in. I did not make a comment that Africa does not have good football. What I was saying is that the coverage is almost non-existent.
Yeah.
Bein Sports is a cable channel, you see. I can watch it as well. It's sometimes they have Arabic. I think it might be an Arabic channel, you know.
Yeah,
because
possible.
most of the language seem to be in the Arabic tones. Mm-hmm. I don't speak a lot of Arabic, but I recognize a few words. But notwithstanding, what I was saying. Oh, hold on, another call. Sorry. Another call.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports. Good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Oh.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You have the floor. Speaking.
What's the sports topic for today?
No, I don't really have a topic enough, and I don't really want to get involved with this Nadal thing with Dale today.
You don't want to get involved? Okay.
No, man, I'm not getting involved with that. Nadal has to be in the top team. Come on now.
Well, that means you're getting involved. Speaker grows. You speaker grows.
Come on.
I mean.
Come on, no, Dale. I don't know what they're thinking about.
I mean, I guess everybody has their opinion. I mean, maybe Dale is under the weather today. I'm not sure why or how he made that comment.
I want to ask the caller. If Nadal wins this tournament, is he the greatest of all time?
If Nadal goes to number 21 and eclipses, I mean, both Djokovic and Federer, is he the greatest of all time?
Greatest for now.
For now?
Yes, then
okay.
all time.
For now, yeah, all time now. We can't tell what happens in the future.
I'm caller. O'Neal?
Yes, man.
Tell me something. You know about you know that tennis is not just about Grand Slams, right?
Yeah.
I think you guys need to research on the Masters event, which is the second biggest event in tennis. The dominance of a player over a period of time. All of these things, when you add it up, that's what the real tennis people add up. It's not just about winning the most Grand Slams that makes you the best tennis player of all time. You have many other things that contribute to that stat.
Grand Slams are important.
No, Grand Slams, it is important, but dominance on the circuit is also another thing you have to look into.
And I think we can't just rely on numbers as well.
Yeah, and no,
I don't think we can just rely
it's not
on
numbers, it's wins and losses, and that's what we play the game. Tennis is an individual game, so the only stat that is really valuable in tennis is wins and losses.
And then again, I'm saying it doesn't even necessarily come down to stats alone. We watch it.
Yeah.
And there's other...
Yes, of course, the eye test.
The eye test.
Yeah.
The mental, backhand, the forehand. I mean, technique. As you said, you touch on a point with Nadal going behind his head in terms of technique and all of that. So each player has their pros and their cons. So you have to weigh everything. But as I said...
You believe that he will be the best of all time currently if he wins this Australian Open?
Currently, yeah. Why not?
Okay. Fair enough. Win number 21, win the most.
Irrespective of how he swings his arms, the border racket on the right or the left side, it doesn't really matter how a player plays.
So you don't value the Masters, the ATP circuit, you don't value the Masters and all of that, those events, none at all.
It's not a matter of not valuing, but it's what are they looking at right now in terms of defining the greatest player. They're not using the ATP Masters.
Of course they do.
They do use it. But
not
I mean,
not to the extent of the Grand Slam.
No, obviously the Grand Slam is the biggest one.
Grand Slam weighs more, but they use all these tournaments and...
Of course.
I mean, it has some say, and Djokovic is definitely dominant on that circuit.
I guarantee if Nadal wins this 21st one, nobody would be saying that he's the greatest.
But then again,
that's true.
How often have we seen Nadal and Federer and Djokovic playing on the same Masters tournaments throughout the years?
Oh, come on.
They play
that's regular.
how often?
They play regularly.
Very often. This is where these guys make the money, you know.
Yeah. They play
on the circuit.
Yeah, on the circuit. On the circuit, of course. You must play on the circuit.
And even so, you need to keep sharp for the majors as well. So they use these tournaments and they play these tournaments.
And it add to your points as world number one and all of that for seedings for major Grand Slams. So you don't want to be seeded 20 and 30 and facing the number one in the first round.
Yeah.
But anything else you have to talk about, Reggae Boys? Anything else you want to touch on?
Reggae Boys. I've been hearing about them now.
Well, we're playing next week. We have 3 matches coming up. We play Mexico in the stadium on the 27th. Next week, Thursday coming. We go to Panama on the 30th. And we play Costa Rica at home February 2nd. So tune in for that. And you should watch some Reggae Boys coming up on you. All right.
And KCJC is still on CVM, so you can tune in.
What's the score? You'll be watching the Money Cup match?
No, man, I'm not working as well.
All right, thank you, O'Neill.
Thank you for calling.
As always, thank you.
No, there's one thing, man.
Okay,
one thing I need to touch on. Earlier in the week, I think what Mona kicked out of the
overage player. No. Ineligible.
Red card issue.
Yeah.
Carrying over from.
I want to look at. I don't know how they can look at it, but it's kind of unfair that you have several different tournaments, even though they are run by PIS. But you have the Money Cup, you have the Walker Cup, you have the Costa Cup, and all these things. And if you get a red card in a Money Cup, you're basically booting that player from playing in a Walker Cup.
Oh, so you think it should be separated? Each cup should have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I disagree. I think under the one governing body, I mean, you do the offense and you get a red card, you miss the next match for your school.
Ken, if you start a tournament, you should start a tournament with a clean slate.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the carryover of
but the thing is,
the
tournaments are tied in. Manning Cup and Walker Cup is tied in. To play the Walker Cup, you have to have played the Manning Cup. So it was defined. It was defined. It was well defined. Yeah.
So O'Neill, the coach made a mistake, an error.
Yeah, it is a stated rule. Everybody knows the rule. It's not something that is hidden each year.
Coaches make mistakes. It's no big deal. It's his first year. I think it's his first year in schoolboy, and he never. Craig Butler. It was Butler.
Mr. Butler, yeah.
Which he said I don't think he's.
And you have to have a staff to kind of keep track of these things. Because you're playing 3 and 4 different competitions, and you're getting red card here, yellow cards here, and all of that. So you have to have a staff to kind of help you monitor that. But I was very surprised. Even the player himself should have known this as well. As a player that you play in a sport,
you're on a red.
Yeah, and 2 yellow card. Come on, you can't play next match.
I mean, it's kids, it's youth.
Oh, come on, Ken, you wouldn't know that?
I think it's more in the management than the player.
I know, I'm not saying the player, but I'm just saying as a player, you would know. You would know.
It's not professional. It's management should know.
All right, O'Neill, thank you, though. Yeah, man.
Respect.
And we wanted to touch on that Walker Cup issue, that Losers Cup. It's a consolation cup, right? Now, how can you still have the name Walker Cup? Is a different set of rules? Is a different everything? How can you still name it Walker Cup?
Hold on a second. We're having our next caller. Phone lines are busy today, people. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports.
Yeah, greetings, Paco here.
Greetings,
Yes,
Mr.
Paco.
Blake. Yes, Paco.
Yeah, I just really want to call because you see, the controversial boss draw me out.
Yeah. Him know if you do that. He does that a lot.
Last week, him say Djokovic is break the rule. This week, him say the man is 0.
Yeah.
What's wrong with him and Djokovic, man?
The cultural boss don't hold back. So, yeah.
Listen, man.
I just want to make some clarity, put some clarity on this thing because
Go ahead.
remember, Djokovic don't break any tennis rules,
No.
You understand me? It's the country government rule in freaking breach. Instead of getting not being vaccinated, I want to come in the country. You understand me? Now, there's a tennis rule. I remember that Victoria was they're the ones who organized the man exemption, etc.
Yeah.
They didn't know they were up in the visa issue. That's the challenge he had. So I don't want to say him break a rule, because he wasn't really breaking the tennis rules.
Yeah. Joker just wanted to play in and out.
Exactly.
But
Okay, so I'm going to answer you, Mr. Paco.
And you can't go to the bar, so the man try and play by the rules and get sports that game of rules. The man never let to beat the rules, brethren.
Yeah, so he made a mistake with that argument there in terms of the act. It's not the rules of tennis.
You have to remember that controversy is a pro-vax, I know. So.
No, look here, Mr. Paco. One of the first thing is that Djokovic was well aware that Australia required vaccination, and he publicly announced that he wasn't getting vaccinated to the extent that he wasn't even going to announce he was going to play. And he tried. It's obvious to me that he tried to find a workaround to get into Australia by getting an exemption for a claimed COVID infection. So because we now look on the dates and the times, we recognize that Joker was trying to, you take a stance. And I'm saying if you take a stance, a public stance, stand by your stance, man. Don't stand by your stance and try to work around the stance. You know what I mean? He said, well, I'm not playing if you require vaccination. And then what he did, he tried to...
The tennis Australia gave no exemption.
Yeah. The problem with governing bodies, and I'm glad you raised that point. Tennis Australia manages lawn tennis tournaments. The Australian government, hold on, Paco, manages the borders of Australia, manages the welfare of Australia. That's a little bigger than tennis, As a matter of fact, Paco, France, tennis president, the president of lawn tennis France, whatever it's called, at Roland Garros, announced that he would allow Djokovic to play, just like Australia. But the French prime minister said, ain't no way. Now, who have more talk? Governments govern countries.
I'm not disputing the fact that the rules were the rules and the government rules. I'm not disputing that.
Yes.
I'm going off what you said last week. You said a man wanted to break the rule. And I'm saying he didn't try to break any tennis rule because... No,
not tennis rule. He tried to work around the country's rules. And my whole dissertation, my whole doctoral thesis last week was that champions play, gentlemen, by the rules. And I lose shine for some men when they don't want to work within the rules. I work off the rules. You know what I mean? If table tennis say you must play with a red and a black, you must play the red and a black. Don't show me a blue or something like that. You understand what I'm saying?
You see, it can be controversial the way you put it in, because if you saw that the man has breached tennis rules, he wasn't breaching the tennis rules.
I did not just say tennis rules.
I think he strives off being controversial. But anything he says, it's recorded, he can back it up, and I mean...
And then next thing, that can tell a man that this will give man a 0. What's wrong with you?
He ain't no hero.
Paco, okay, I'll just point out two more things.
Yeah.
Let me tell you two quick points. Immediately the day after Djokovic said he found he was positive, he was seen posing with about 20 children in a photo op. The very same day, he was interviewed by a journalist. He took pictures hugging the journalist, presumably knowing that he was COVID positive. Yes, I'm 100% sure. It's a matter of record.
Yes,
guys, hear me out.
Yes, that's
You're
correct. That's correct.
So if Djokovic was COVID positive, either he was reckless and took the pictures, or he was lying because he knew he wasn't COVID positive. So Paco, those two things make him lose shine in my eyes. The second thing will make him lose shine is that if he has a monetary intent in his stance, which is he's an 80% owner of that Danish company. If the man is pushing the anti-vaccine stance merely because of a profit motive, I don't respect that none at all.
Yeah.
Clear?
Well,
I'm going to touch on that.
So I'm not going to deal with it.
Yeah.
And Paco, give me some space. It's my birthday.
Hold on, I don't finish yet.
All right, Paco, go ahead.
I hear you guys talking about if Nadal was to win, he would be the quote or whatever. But you have to bear in mind, Nadal won most of his Grand Slams. I mean, but 80% of his Grand Slams and clay. And to me, Nadal is not as flexible as Djokovic in terms of winning Grand Slam as a various sport.
I don't say no, Paco.
If he might win this one and have the most, I still would consider the GOAT because most of his games, most of his championships were won and clay.
Paco, when Djokovic won his 20th, I heard everybody say, that all the 3 greatest players are tied at 20. Don't?
Yeah.
And furthermore, it was said that Djokovic reached the finals of the tournament.
The greatest player in this time.
No. And they were saying if Djoko breaks the tie when he was playing Medvedev in the finals, was it US Open?
Yeah.
Djokovic would have been, the American journalist said, this will make him the greatest of all time because he would have broken the GOAT tie. No, so they said?
Yeah.
So if what I'm saying, if Nadal broke the GOAT tie, then him not the GOAT?
No.
Why not? That's
the,
uneven. Gentlemen, you have to have the same standard.
No. The thing is, they're looking at versatility.
No. It's not the versatility test. But it's not the
I
GOAT.
think you
It's not the
misquote
GOAT.
what they
It's
said.
the
The
GOAT.
greatest in this time, not
No,
of
sir.
all time. I think you misquoted.
No,
It
there
could
was a G, a O, and an 8.
It's the GOAT of this time.
No, goat, man.
Goat to go.
Goat.
Back up.
One more before I go. I'm Mr. Controversial. I know why I trouble this young lady. Emma Ram, whatever her name.
Emma Raducanu.
Raducanu.
Yeah.
Just 1 US Open, not dropping a set. Obviously, something wrong. One girl could space, man.
Yeah.
And she just 19.
Yeah.
Give her some space, man.
Baka, I think she need to give herself some space.
Yes, she's overbooked.
She's doing too much. She's doing too much.
Too much
man.
press, too
And
much
not enough
media.
tennis.
Yeah.
Too much, but not enough on the court.
Yeah, so the girl look pretty, man.
You see what I mean? It's the same thing I'm to Anna Kournikova.
Yeah, it's too much, Baka. Too much.
Well, she'll have a career outside of tennis, that's for
And
sure.
right now, see the media here, you don't even need the cameras to come. Them have the media right beside them all day.
So, but,
24 hours a day. Them she need a break, man.
like I
Fall
said,
back.
it's fair enough still. Her career is still young and she has a lot ahead of her, but we'll see. We're just making a trajectory of where we see her career going. And
Yeah,
Peter
I'm not
said
being a
it-
hater. I'm a fan. And when it comes on Primal, I hope it gets back to her that I've said this, and she will change her ways.
I've come on Primal.
I could have saved Whitmore.
He said, where was this? Is the Primal?
All right, thank you, Paco.
All right, Paco.
Thanks for calling, man.
Take it easy.
Yeah, man, respect. Yeah, boy, that is true. That is true. I hope she listen. No, really, I hope she really listen, you know?
Words get to Emma and she get the interview on Primal and take on the controversy. Boy.
Man, change up our lifestyle a little bit, you know? Yeah, but back to the football that we're talking about, the Walker Cup.
Yeah.
Being it's a loser's cup. If
I understand.
So when you're gonna come out and say, oh, St. Catherine is gonna win the Walker Cup for the first time in history, and I'm saying KC will never be able to win another Walker Cup.
Unless
You get my point? You will never. So
Understand.
why not change the name Walker Cup to a different cup? Why have the same name and it's a different cup? It's an entirely different.
Understand what I mean?
I guess they like Mr. Walker. I want to keep the name.
Yeah, but they can add consolation or something to it.
Add something to it because somebody who don't know the actual rules and the thing and say.
By the way, anybody have the number for Mr. Craig Butler trying to reach you? We'd like to get Mr. Butler on the program.
Yeah.
Because we want to hear about the controversy.
Yeah.
And I want to hear his opinion as well, because he's a man with some strong opinions. Craig Butler, the controversy boss, is trying to reach you.
Even though he made a mistake with Mona, you know, doing a good job, you know.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
It's
Him
5 love.
coming out at a
MVK,
hype,
you know.
but him hype up the youth.
Yeah, man. 5 love. MVK.
Me know, that's what I
5
tell
love,
you.
5 love.
Him look like him have the goods.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the man we produce Leon Butler, you know. I mean,
Leon Bailey,
maybe
yeah,
Leon
man.
Bailey, maybe he knows something about football.
Of course, he knows something about football.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's why we need him on Primal.
Yeah.
Tell us about
He
football.
need to come on Primal.
And speaking of football, Man Cup match is still going on. Last time I checked,
What's the score?
66 minutes, 1-1, same way. Here at JC scored a brilliant free kick to level the score in the first half. Both teams went into halftime 1-1. So that's still going on. Next week we'll round up the schoolboy football, seeing that we're pressed for time, but
I know we need to state that our guest next week is all-time swimming great Ali Atkinson.
Olympia and all those
And don't leave
accolades.
a world record holder.
World record holder.
Short course world record
Yeah,
holder
yeah.
for 50 and 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know we keep it primal already, so yeah.
Yeah.
First Jamaican.
I mean, she'll break down all that for us next week. And
Very disappointed that Olympian O'Neill couldn't make it, but he called me this morning and had a little emergency. So I apologize to the fans, but I got a lot of cycling questions,
my,
you know.
yeah,
Like a lot of people want to talk about Portland cycling. Portland used to have some riders, the Devil Riders back then, and they produce a lot of national cyclists. Murdoch.
We're very diverse.
I had a bronze medal in the Olympics 1980.
David Weller.
So I mean, cycling.
So we're gonna try again and get O'Neill on a couple of weeks time. Let's see if we can get back.
One of our own tennis player, Ian Lynch's brother, Ricardo Lynch, was a big indoor
He
cyclist.
also cycled in Central America.
Beat the world champion in Commonwealth Games and was disqualified because of some technicalities.
Yeah, they disqualified.
Yes, Ricardo Lynch, a big man in cycling as well.
So we have had some distinguished cyclists in Jamaica.
Cycling was a big sport back then. I used to see cycling on TV in the early 90s. It just went away.
It went away.
And the public needs to know this. The history.
I think they need a track. The style of the track we have at the stadium is not what they're racing on now. In Trinidad, it's more banked. It's a steeper and a shorter curve that's being used now in the velodromes.
I think has a lot of cyclists as well.
Yeah, but we don't have a modern velodrome. We've talked to O'Neill about it.
What do we have here that's modern?
Well, that's the problem. We have good tracks. We have about 3 good tracks. However, we have a field in Montego Bay that is on par, better than the stadium probably.
Yeah.
What is it used for?
I think they play football occasionally.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
We need one in Kingston.
One thing I can say about Trinidad, when it comes down to fields and infrastructure,
they have better infrastructure than we do.
Trinidad, without a doubt, definitely, is one of the leaders.
They invest in them sport, but watch out for Guyana. Guyana is going to have projected to have 20-25% GDP growth.
Oil.
And the
oil.
And that means the potential for sports in Guyana is going to turn up. Remember I told you that.
Yeah, them love them sports down there too as well, And there's a whole heap of room for improvement within the infrastructure. Well, we've come to another end of Primal Sports. It was a great week of sports, and so as well apologize for not having the cyclists on today, but we'll definitely have a great swimmer next week, Ali Atkinson. Will be on Primal next week, so look out for that.
All right.
So from the Primal team, I mean, one last happy birthday for the controversial boss. It was a great show. Thanks to all the callers. I mean, me and my co-host Peter Mo Young, Dale Parham, myself, Kenny Schwab Watson. Thanks for tuning in.
And remember, please download the app, guys. Not the app. I mean, tune into the cable channel here locally. It's I can't remember the number. Logic 1. Yeah, tune in. You can see the replays on Sunday as well as the replays on Facebook and also on the Primal Media Group.net.
Thanks for the listeners. Thanks for the callers, and we appreciate you. One love from Primal team.
Uncle Randy is up next. All right.
All right.